what they say, black don't crack. Let's talk about it. Hey, ladies, how are you? Today I want to have a conversation about black don't crack. And here's how to keep it up, okay? Because it's more than just having genetics, okay? We got to keep it up. We got to keep it up. But before we get into the conversation, how are you? How things going? How have you been? Y'all, I've been I've been doing okay. I've been doing okay. I hope you have as well. What's been going on? Website is going good. I gotta keep mentioning that. Website's going good. If you have not yet gone to the website, go on over to the website. Link will be down below. Check out the new website, guys. I am so excited. I'm so excited the way we're going, the pivot that we took, and we're just here. I'm excited. I'm excited. So you guys know a few ebooks are coming out. I do have the title of the ebooks on my website, so you guys can definitely check those out. So yeah, those definitely will be free. Yes, I'm going to work on those and get those out just so you can have something that you can look at, remind yourself, and always know that you that woman, okay? So I'm gonna give you a little bit, got some affirmations up in there, all the good things. I'm working hard behind the scenes, getting it done for us. It's so funny because I was vlogging earlier. I don't really vlog like I used to, but I still got the vlogs coming in, periodically. And I was just saying how I talked with my therapist and telling my therapist, just how things are going, where I am and just all the different things. And he was telling me, Kelly, you know, why don't you write a book? And I was like, write a book? I said, well, I am dibbling dabbling in the ebook situation. And he was like, no, go for it. Go big. Go big. And I was like, go big. I was like, you mean a book? Like a real big book? He was like, well, you can do it how you want to do it. Do self-publishing. You can do it like write the book and you can like put it on Amazon or put it somewhere where like a print on demand type situation. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I said, he was like, you can tell your story or you can share bits of your story and you can incorporate it to how you have evolved and where you are today and how things have helped you. And I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can do that. I mean, I'm just paraphrasing at this point, but that's definitely a good, outline to start something. And if you want to take it, you can go ahead because everybody's story is different. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do it because sometimes saying things in this platform, like if you listening on the podcast or if you're watching via YouTube, things can be perceived differently and versus if you're reading it, you're ingesting it in a different manner. So I'm definitely going to do it and I'll make sure it's super affordable. It's not going to be nothing crazy. But yeah, I am going to do something that I'm going to work on more so in the summer. I think that'll be a project for me to start on my birthday time. I already planned out what my birthday trip is going to be. It's going to be something very local, especially the times that we live in right now with the whole flying situation. So I'm going to do something very local and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to work on my little mini book, y'all. I'm so excited. But let's get into it. Let's get into what we're talking about on today's episode that black don't crack and here's how to keep it that way. That phrase is true. The phrase is true, but longevity and youthfulness goes beyond just genetics. It's about lifestyle, mindset, and wellness. You know, I look at myself, I feel I'm doing a darn good job. I look at my mom, she's doing a good job. Sometimes we can have good genetics, and the next thing you know, we got life get a hold of us. Life gets you by the collar, okay? And before you know it, you looking and feeling crazy because it's not just about a physical, it's more about, inner, because we need both to work. So, just always, remember that aging is a privilege. 'Cause a lot of people don't even make it to certain ages in life, and aging is, a privilege. It really is, and the goal is to age well and not just look young. Because looking young don't mean nothing. I know a lot of people that are older look really, really young, which is a really, really good thing on their part, but their insides is So we want to have our cake and eat it too. We want it all. We want it all. So I want to talk about mindset and confidence. You know, aging with grace starts with your mind, and you guys know that is my thing. Aging graceful. Start with your mind, and it didn't hit me until later on in life after I created Aging Graceful how powerful it was. I had something on my heart, but I didn't know how I can push it to make it more than what it was, more than what I saw it at the time. And when I thought about it, it's not just me creating a podcast, having merch, speaking to people. It's more, it's a mindset. It is such a mindset. And how you feel about yourself and reflect on things outward. Like, where are you? What's going on around you? And all these different things is a key component to, you know, aging graceful and looking good. The power of self love, embracing each season in your life with confidence. And when I say each season, like for me, I'm going to be turning 49 this year. So this year right here is my last year in my 40s. This decade, these last 10 years in my 40s. And I'm going to be barking on a whole new season soon, bumping into my 50s. And I'm looking at like, I'm accepting it. I accept where I was in my 20s. I accept where I was in my 30s. And here I am in my 40s, the beginning, the middle, and here we are at the end. And I'm loving where I am now. And I'm so happy where I am now because now going into my 50s, it's a whole new chapter story. And you can make it the way you want to make it. It was at a time in my life where I had some regrets, you know what I mean? But I had to remove that and say, hey, 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 don't look at it as a regret. Look at it as a lesson. Look at it as a lesson. And, I had a conversation with my girlfriend yesterday, one of my girlfriends yesterday, and she was just like, better late than never. And it made me feel so good inside because, you have different friends in your life that know a little, a lot, and a whole bunch about you. You know what I mean? And this particular friend, she knows a whole bunch about me. And being able to share the growth and, where I am and what I've learned and all different things and just understanding the mistakes that I may have made, it was definitely refreshing. It felt really, really good. And if she's watching, she knows who she is. She knows. But yeah. So and talking about, life with confidence, letting go of stress. You know, stress and having negativity can definitely hinder you and having a vibrant and youthful, you know, look. And when I say youthful, I'm using that word very loosely. I don't mean youthful as if, you want to be 20 again. No, just meaning you're looking good for your age. You're looking good for your age and you're aging well. So that's just like using a word for a lack of another word because I can use that word freely. So yeah, so now if we want to maintain this black don't crack phrase, we got to focus on prioritizing our health and longevity. Let's sit back and talk about it. You want to look good, but how you going to look good and your insides ain't right? So, the importance of regular checkups. All that plays into your outer. If you got the high blood pressure, the cholesterol, the diabetes, all these different things going on. You might have a liver situation. You might have something else going on. Different things that came about due to a lifestyle that we all may have lived. I talked to you guys about my scale with high blood pressure and where I'm at right now and how I had to sit back and say, hey, 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 I got to ease up on my life until I get things back in order. I didn't eat bad, but I do know there was several components in my life that contributed to it. Stress, not working out, alcohol, I'm not saying you can't have those things and indulge in it, because those are different pleasures in your life, but do it in moderation. Your girl, I was a wine drinker. I wasn't a hard liquor drinker. Do I indulge in that? Yes. Can I throw a tequila shot, a two back or three back? Yes. I ain't gonna sit here and hold you and say that I don't do those things. But I was a wine drinker at night. Oh, give me a glass of wine or two. And for me, it didn't even make me like tipsy or nothing. It was just something that was a part of the routine, like you just brushing your teeth. It was like that. Sad to say, but I'm being honest with you, okay? But going to the doctors and your regular checkups and the preventive care. Like, so for me, I'm in that preventive care stage where I've seen some little hiccups, I've seen some things going on. I need to know how to maneuver my body because I only have one and I'm getting older and I'm not trying to shorten my life for a good time. You know what I mean? If it's about me drinking water and me being mindful of what I'm putting in my system, I will do that because I'm not going to sit here and be selfish just for a little moment, if that makes any sense. I'm not going to do that. Staying active, as I mentioned a little while ago, staying active, walking, strength training, moving and maintaining vitality. You don't realize that until you get older. I am so proud of women that I'm seeing who are younger, in their 20s, 30s, like, all different things where they're staying active and they're moving around and doing things and becoming these gym girlies and whatnot. That was the farthest thing from my mom being a gym girly in my 20s. I was a whole mother. So that wasn't happening. Fueling your body with whole nutrition dense foods that nourish from within. Ladies, I love me a good piece of fried chicken, if it's from the house or if it's from the local chicken spot, okay? I love me a good sub or a sandwich, a hero, however you want to call it, from wherever you're from. I love it. Is that processed food? Absolutely. Is the fried chicken saturated fats? Absolutely. Does that play into all the things we're not supposed to be having? Absolutely. But doing it in moderation will not be bad. It's like having a treat. And if you are moving and staying active and working out and lifting weights, ladies, I was never an individual that felt like if I lift weights, I was going to become muscle, like, become like a bodybuilder, because you know how much work that takes and how much time that takes. That takes years for a normal person, not unless you on like steroids or something. But that takes years. Can you bulk up and look good? Absolutely. But for me, you have to lift weights. For me, I have to lift weights. And I have to like push myself. So if you might like a 15 weight, might like a 10 weight, do it. Even if it's just for one go. If you're doing it this way, doing a hammer, however, just do it, get it in. I'm telling you, ladies, lifting weights will definitely help you with wanting to have those cheat meals, cheap nights, cheap dinners. I said cheap. Cheat nights, cheat dinner dates, or whatever the case may be, because I'm definitely there. So I won't be able to know if what I'm doing is doing good so far, because I have definitely been being a real good girl. When I say a good girl, a real good girl. So I'll know come soon if what I'm doing is working. Then I will know how to maneuver my life and just indulge when it's time and not do it like on a regular basis, not making it a part of my life. So yeah, next up, the gut health. Gut health. And let me tell you something. When you have a bad diet, you're not going to really push things out the way it needs to go. And it will sit there. All that stuff will sit there. When you have bile left in you, that causes for inflammation, acne, all the different things, and weight gain, because stool is heavy. Okay. So we got to get it out. We got to get it out. So we have to make sure that our gut and digestive health is at its best, because that will help you with clear skin and just feeling good overall. I mean, I don't mean to be too TMI, but just think about how you feel when you do relieve yourself. You know, you feel good. You feel like you have been emptied. So that's exactly how you want to feel. That's exactly how you want to be at all times. And if you're eating good, those things will happen, more often. So yeah. So it's a thing for this, because we have to keep it. We have to make sure we're staying this way so this black don't crack. And we're going to work from the inside out. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about energy and joy, as we're aging, and good practices. Now, this is more of a more outside thing here. This is not more so working on your end. This is more so outside. So how does that look? Surrounding yourself with positive people, uplifting people. And I'm not saying yes people, but just people that are in a good place as well. You know, it's one thing you have a person around you that has a bad day. Because we all have bad days. But when you got a person around you that's straight up negative and keeping things at a low spot, we can't have that. We can't have, so be mindful of the situations and things like that. And sometimes we feel like just because we may have grown up with somebody or we may have done years with somebody, we have to always keep them in our circle. And that's not always true. We are free to evolve. We are free. Okay. Engage in hobbies and passions. I'm gonna share something with you. I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy having these conversations with you. And I didn't realize that this was a passion of mine. And I sit back and think about how I want to be a social worker. And when I was in New York before I moved to North Carolina, I was going to a school of social work and I was going to go get my license in social work. And I went to the school. The school was called Yeshiva University, and it was a school of social work. And I wanted to be a social worker so bad, and I wanted to specialize in geriatrics. And when I moved to North Carolina, I didn't realize, what really entailed in being a social worker and how the pay was different from the pay in New York as being a social worker. Now, I always was in accounting or always in some type of finance or some type of money field. I started out in retail. So, you understand the cash register. You're playing with money. You're closing bags. Now you become a store manager. And then next thing you know, y'all, you're working in the hospital. You're working in billing. So you see how things evolve. And I always knew how to count and, work large amount of money. So when I came down here, I realized that I don't know how we got. Oh, we talking about passions. How how I wanted to do social work, but it didn't work out for me. So I want to get in my MBA, and that's how I pursued my career further in accounting and doing different things and whatnot. So yeah, but my passion is really now. Let's bring it back full circle. My passion is talking, inspiring, and feeding people. That's my passion. And I didn't even realize it because I put it on a burner for so long and I kind of made it dormant, if you will. And when I started the podcast, it really made me feel good that I can still talk to people and provide value indirectly. And I love makeup, and you guys know that. Makeup is my hobby. And I try to turn my hobby into my passion, but it really wasn't. And me telling you this now is for you to understand the difference. My passion, my hobby will never go anywhere. But at this point in my life, I am pursuing my passions and I'm doing that even in all aspects of my life. I'll be sharing more with you later on about that because when you get to a certain point in your life, you don't want to just be doing things because it's money and because it's what pays the bills. When you get older in life and you knowing that you're doing something until you retire or until a better situation comes about, you have to do something that you like and you enjoy doing. And position I'm positioning myself at that point, just speaking it out there into the universe. Okay, so I want you to do the same as well. So, in saying all of that, laughing, having fun, and avoiding burnout. I tell you, I've been in a burnout situation many times in my life. If it wasn't in work, if it wasn't just in my life, I have a lot of responsibilities in my life. There's times where I had to take off a day off of work and I work from home just so I can pour into myself. You know, Always understand when you have to sit back and let go and pour into yourself. That's truly, truly important. Truly, truly important. So we don't want to get too heavy. We don't want to get too heavy. So now, like some daily habits that you can use for yourself to maintain this black don't crack. Stay hydrated. Get you some fresh air. Put your SPF on. I'm not playing with you. And prioritize rest, i.e., I've done that before where I have to take a day off of work. As I tell you, sometimes we got those days for a reason. Those days are just not to when you want to take vacation or take them kids to the doctor or for your own doctor's appointment. Them days are for you too. Okay? They're for you too. Setting boundaries and protecting your peace. Something me and my girlfriend talked about as well. You know, some things we just not tolerating. You can be here, you can be in my life, but we ain't doing X, Y, and Z. We're not doing that. So boundaries are beautiful and we love those. And just continuing learning and growth and just keeping your mind sharp, because one thing that can possibly go in your life is your mind. Little fun thing today, I was on the phone with my oldest daughter and I had mentioned something to her. She was like, "Mom, that's the fourth time you done said that. And let me find out your mind is going." I said, "No, I'm just so excited and I just want to keep repeating it." And she was like, "Oh, okay now, because I'm thinking your mind is slipping, y'all." I wanted to holler, but no, I like to keep things at the forefront because for me, retention, I write things down. But I just want to keep talking about it so I can let the universe know that, I really want this. I really want this to happen for me. So not only am I talking it out loud, I'm talking it to my daughter so she can hear it. And she's like, "Mom, I know you ain't going crazy." Girl, if you don't leave me alone. So let's recap. Aging well is a lifestyle. It's not just a look. Okay. It's not just a look. I mean, I love the saying. I love it for us. Yes, we all know that melanin is the best thing ever, and we all know it definitely helps us in regards to aging and all the good things. We don't age as I don't want to say this word, but I'm going to have to say it harsh, for lack of a better word. We age differently, so I do get it. But I just want to encourage you to embrace the journey of aging. I want you to prioritize your well-being, because believe it or not, sometimes when you don't treat yourself good on the inside, it can definitely exude on the outside. And we don't want that for us. So the purpose of this conversation was for us to keep it that way. Okay. And if you enjoyed, I want you to hit the follow. I want you to follow us on all streaming platforms for the podcast. If it's Apple Podcasts, if it's Spotify, if it's Amazon Music, all different things. And if it's here on the good old streets of YouTube, go ahead and hit that follow, hang out with your girl so we can continue these conversations and, talk about how us good Black women over 40 are going to maintain this and keep it good. Okay? So I will catch you in the next episode, and I truly, truly appreciate you.